Dear students, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 13th February 2017. Yesterday, I traveled to Ajmer on my personal work, so I was unable to do the video and I am resuming it back today. So you can visit our Facebook page and we will be updating that if some days if the video misses or if any change in the plan exists. Now, the solar power breaks a price barrier. With regard to the solar energy, we have a target. That is, by 2022, we want to install 100 gigawatts of the solar energy. And the major barrier in this is the cost of the photovoltaic cell. Previously, when the government has auctioned per unit of electricity produced, it has even costed 9 rupees. So that's why it has been seen as very prohibitive. But however, under the Paris climate change, we have to promote the renewable energy. So, the improvement in technology has brought down the cost dramatically, paving way for reaping the benefits of solar energy. In Madhya Pradesh, in recent auction, the photovoltaic cell power it has been come down to 2.97 rupees for kilowatt hour, that is the unit of electricity produced. So it is expected that it can bring in solar energy revolution in India. In this, the policy example we need to take from is Germany. So what the Germany did is they have created the meters in every house, and middle class is been brought into the process of revolutionizing the harnessing the solar energy. So the policy support and net metering of the every household, bringing the middle class into this revolution will bring in big benefits to India, and as India is a solar energy rich nation. Now, solar power rich nation. Let's go to the other part of the article, the next article. So the next article is one China check for the Donald Trump. When President Trump has got elected, he made a call to Tsai Ing-wen of Taiwan, or else he received a call from her, a congratulatory call. So it is direct question towards the one China policy. So when Nixon was the president, the United States and China relations were based on this one China policy, and that is the ground on which they started engaging with each other. So Trump wanted to use one China policy as a bargaining chip with the China in getting the trade benefits. But however, China has reacted and clearly stated that one China policy is not for any bargaining or not for negotiation. Finally, President Trump he started engaging with Mr. Xi Jinping, and this engagement he has clearly stated that he is supportive of one China policy. So, the China and United States are the two largest economies in the world, and cooperation among them is crucial for global economic stability. So, they can compete, they can disagree, but they can never fight. This is what the article talks about. Coming to Shiv Vishwanathan article, a dyad of dynasties. Dyad of dynasties. What does this article talks about? I don't get into the politics of this article. Now there are certain contrast situations in Indian politics. Indian youth are rising, are proportionate of the young people in the Indian population is rising, and this is what we famously call as demographic dividend. But we see our representatives, our political parties, these are filled with world population. It means there is no parity between the ideals the society needs, the direction the society needs, and the elders who are sitting in the houses. And the second is, every political party preaches for an ideology, but today ideologies are more and more replaced with pragmatism. So the governance has become central to the politics. Governance and development have become central to the politics. So these two are being spoken in this article indirectly. So the young population has to get their representativeness in the houses, and they shall be vocal in mobilizing their voice and also ensuring that the policy framework benefits their development. That's what the article talks about. It is an indirect message was given by this article. Now, Marine Le Pen. So she is the president of Front National, a right-wing party in the France. And for the last 3 decades, it is contesting in elections. And it never got the significant votes, but slowly its influence in the politics in France is increasing. But however, this article states that it is not possible for Maria Lepin to win the elections. Here we need to understand one significant point, that is the Fifth Republic. It has come into existence in 1950s, and China, that is France, has underwent through much of instability, constitutional instability than any other country. The French people have designed their electoral system in such a way that there shall not be extremist parties coming to power. So this is going to be a major limitation. So when Fifth Republic was designed, electoral system was defined. They wanted to keep the extremist left from the power. Now, the same provision is keeping the extremist right from the power. So even Marine Le Pen's tone is a bit came down. In spite of this, the reluctance of the French people is clearly visible. So she was able to win the first round elections, but she is unable to win the second round elections till date. That is what is the article talks about. Now, let's get into the next article, that is sex offender registries don't work. Now, in this article, it's about the Menaka Gandhi's recent statement that India has to maintain sex offender registries. What they mean? Any person who is being uh, or who is being accused and also convicted in the case of a sex offense, sexual offense, his name will be kept in the registry, and this registry will also made available for the public access. So it means that any person, once he is an offender, he will be branded as an offender forever. And it also helps on the positive side to quicken the investigation process. So, when the person is a pedophile or else a sexual offender, when the people know about him, then obviously on the negative side there will be stigmatization. As the stigmatization is increasing in the society, then it will ultimately provoking these people to resort to the crime rather than getting away from the crime. So, practically, if we observe, if you see the evidence-based understanding of this problem, so maintaining of the registries and making them public is not decreasing the crime. And second is, Ms. Menaka Gandhi wants to include even children under trials also in the registry. If it is the case, the law can become much misused. Let me say this example. As for the POSCO Act, the Protection of the Children from Sexual Offences Act, even minors who are involved in an intercourse, if they are less than 18 years, that is also a crime. So parents can use this to file a wrong case against the consensual sex. Obviously, their names comes into the register if it has been created, and this is going to spoil their future forever. And finally, the tough laws are not a solution for the problems in India. It is the certainty of the punishment that brings in the solution. So, we try to solve in India everything through the toughest of the laws. No, it is through conviction and better investigative agencies. We can raise the conviction rate and also we can dispense the cases quickly. Then the fear of the law comes into the minds of the people. That is the long-term solution. Creating strong institutions and investigative mechanisms is the way forward. Now, let's come to the news page. Here, the single point military advisor soon. So there is Chief of Defense Staff proposal is pending for very long. And also the integration of the three forces and coordination among them is the major challenge in India. So the Chief of Defense Staff will be created and he will be a single point military advisor to the government. And also at the commander level, theater commands will come into picture. It means that Army, Navy, and Air Force, they will be under one commander for better coordination and efficient use of the resources so that an effective action can be taken up. These are the proposals. And also, the special operations commands are also being planned for. This is what this article talks about. Now, Taiwan for upgrading diplomatic ties. Here, Sangwen, the president of Taiwan, she has a policy that is called southbound policy, in which she is looking to integrate or increase relationships with Southeast Asia and also India. So that's why there is a plan to upgrade the diplomatic ties between these two. And then let's get into other questions. So that is Chidambaram plays PM over raincoat remarks. So here I just wanted to say you one thing. The parliament is not a space for chit chat. It's a place where the future of the country and values of the society are being protected. So in this context, the respect for the predecessors and then a unanimous and consensus orientation in the dialogue, they are very critical. This have to be set as an example from none other than Prime Minister himself. So Prime Minister Modi went overboard with his comments on his predecessor Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. And finally, CIA thought Kamaraj would succeed Shastri. Now, in India, after Shastri has passed away, so there was a dilemma. Then Kamaraj was the Congress president, and he had the overwhelming support, but he did not take up the prime ministerial position. So Morarji Desai was the contender. And finally, Indira Gandhi became the prime minister, and her name was proposed by none other than Kamaraj. When emergency was imposed in the country, Kamaraj himself has stated that he repent that particular mistake which he did, that is bringing the Indira Gandhi into politics. And finally, when Congress was split, the very Kamaraj lost from the in the hands of the Indira Gandhi's party. So this is what is the Congress style of politics. Now let's the next paper. The North Korea test fires the ballistic missile. So this is what is expected as the new president come to power, as relations between the United States and Japan are being reinforced with a recent visit of Shinzo Abe to United States of America, and engagement between Trump and Xi has to attract some North Korean, I mean, invitation, and the missile testing is an example for the same. But however, so United States, how is that going to use this situation? When Obama was the president, it has brought in third missiles. It has stationed these missiles in South Korea. So China has expressed its concerns over keeping the missiles in Korean Peninsula. And then the President Trump also reiterated that Japan is going to be its strongest ally. So in this context, he may pressurize the China to take some swift action on North Korea. So the China is the largest trading partner for North Korea. And then let's get into other articles. Switzerland votes on relaxed citizenship laws, but this is not very much important for us. Steinmeier, he also has visited India. He is chosen as the German president. So in Germany, the real power is in the hands of Chancellor. So Steinmeier is more of a representative of the nation, or I can say representative of the state, and the president is the Steinmeier. So these are the articles for him, and I have prepared the notes for the same. And thank you very much. All the best.